Hey, what's up everybody? Well, I'm getting an unexpected opportunity to make a video. Have to make it quick because this will probably end very soon, this opportunity. But one thing I want to update on is in my last video I talked about this doll and how her hair was terrible. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, if people just stick these dolls in their attic or what happens to their hair, but it just craps out. And that's why I say that, hey, I mean, if you can salvage a girl doll like this and make her into a little boy, hey, I mean, that's better than just throwing her away. And I don't see anything wrong with boy dolls in general because I like them. I see them as an improvement. You know, I mean, yeah, girl dolls are great, but boy dolls are even better. But this doll, I had to remove, like, pluck out all of her hair, except just one row in front, and I cut it real close to her head. And I guess I could have flocked it, but I decided to make use of that cowboy hat that I got in August or September with another doll. And so yeah, there she is. She looks real cute with that cowboy hat, or it's a cowgirl hat, I guess. And so there's, you know, my little doll. Just wanted to update on her hair issue. And then of course I have these elves from this past summer. I need to put them somewhere. And so yeah, I just really do not see the issue with, see how pretty that braid is. I mean, in this case, she didn't really look good as a boy. But when you take off the hat, she just has a bald head and, a row of hair plugs that I chopped down so that it would look like, almost like a boy, with a really close buzz cut that's, kind of like a flat top in front of sorts. I don't know what you call that. But, kind of like Doug Funny's hair on a real person. But, these dolls are awesome. AI does amazing, amazing things. It changing their clothes and, at all kinds of things that it can do, putting them in a Christmas globe and probably things I never thought to do. But, I feel like, time is just slipping away from me as we get closer to Christmas. And a part of me just really isn't, part of me kind of wishes I could rewind, to before Halloween. Because it's just not, every year it's like that. It's like, that within like 12 or 13 days, it'll all be over. And, then what do you have? Just another new year, a sad new year. So, not thrilled about it, but, not thrilled about how it's going to be over soon. Oh yeah, and then I have my Halloween elf, but it's like you just every year it's like you don't really feel that happy about Christmas being over and all that, because it's gonna happen soon. And so yeah, that's my doll. And the very first kid car I ever had was slightly shorter than the Katie dolls, like this. There's Katie, and I think she was called Carla. And a lot of them had, a lot of those had sandy hair and purple eyes. So yeah, Kidcore had several different sizes of dolls. And other companies had other clones that were slightly different as well. Like this one. But yeah, it's like, I just happy that we're gonna be close to Christmas, but I'm not happy, about the variation in weather, as you well know. I mean, December for us is more of a transitory month where you go from like, yeah, your first month out of the hurricane season. So weather could be anything from like a hard freeze to a humid, disgusting 70 something degree weather day and night where it doesn't really change that much. So, I don't know how Christmas is gonna be, but You know, I know I can't be with my mom because if I went, well, I used to spend it with my mom, and, you know, I can't be two places at once. So I spend it here because, um, like, I know for sure that if I did not put up a tree, my dad would absolutely not have one. And if I put up a tree like I have so many times and then go to my mom's, well, guess what? That tree will stay up until I get back. You know what I'm saying? If I stayed through April, it would be up in freaking April for Easter. If I stayed through the 4th of July, it could become a 4th of July tree like that elf, red, white, and blue. And, but, you know, like, it just, you know, that's just how it is. You know, he has no artistic flair whatsoever. And most men are very much like him. They would prefer to live without pretty or cool things like that. You know, they would much rather do without those things than to ever, you know, put forth the effort or try to, well, they can't, you know, at this stage in life, develop the skills to do things like that. You know, put up a tree, take down a tree, you know, put more appropriate decorations up, or none at all when Christmas is over. And over by a lot. I mean, not, you know, January. January is the time to take down the outdoor decorations in particular. But the tree, I just am happy if it's down by March. So, you know, men will not do those things. They will not. They absolutely won't. They'd rather just live without it. You know, and that's why it makes me so sad, you know, that so many restaurants have just given up on decorating for Christmas. You know, no more Christmas decorations at so many places, and they don't realize how much they're hurting themselves, you know. Nobody can stay in business anymore as a restaurant. There's no variety in restaurants anymore, and people don't realize, you know, at least with someone like me, how that's hurting, you know, their ability to make any money at all. Because it's like, you know, I mean, they don't see it that way. They think they're saving money on something unnecessary that just wastes electricity, like Christmas lights. But I see it as, hey, you know, why would I go eat at Taco Bell if they don't put up a tree when I could just stay at my house and make my own tacos that I would like better, that have more meat and less seasoning, or no seasoning if I don't want it. Why would I go to Taco Bell's where they don't put up a tree if I could buy those kind of kits that literally say Taco Bell's and make my own tacos and eat on a tablecloth that's just all about Christmas, and have a little Christmas arrangement in the middle and then go look at my Christmas tree after I finish eating and play Christmas music or something, or, you know, I mean, when I can make the Christmas at my house, you know, why would I go eat out at a restaurant that puts forth no effort to make it look like it isn't freaking June 25th or March 25th or September 25th or whatnot? You know what I'm saying? You know, why would I go to a Burger King or McDonald's for sure, you know, if they didn't put out any decoration at all, when I could buy hamburger patties that would be a lot better for me and eat at home with my own decorations? You know what I'm saying? I could even have a little ceramic tree that's battery operated, a little mini tree in the middle of the table if I wanted. So yeah, it's like people do not factor that in. You know, that one of the main reasons I like Chick-fil-A, even though it's more expensive than a lot of places, is because of their decorations. You know, that people do not think that should matter or factor in, but, you know, a lot of times my decision between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, you know, the reason I'm just so obsessed with going to Chick-fil-A at least once in the autumn months and at least once leading up to Christmas is because of their decorations. You know, that's why Popeye isn't such a priority like that, whereas Chick-fil-A is. And, you know, people don't think that should matter, but it does. So, excited about Christmas as I am every year. Unhappy about the weather, as always. You know, I mean, December should be cold and clear and dry, hopefully. But unfortunately, in order to have those cold fronts, you often have to suffer through unseasonably warm, humid weather where it rains all day long and all night. So, yeah, hopefully I won't get any colds within the next 3 weeks because, my sore throat did kind of go away, but I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. I mean, it's not severe, but it just sometimes comes and goes and comes and goes, which makes me think it's from talking or sleeping with my mouth open, as opposed to a virus. So, yeah, hopefully I won't get any colds, and if I can make it to February, I'll be able to say it's 2 years. And, you know, just very happy about Christmas. And, as I stated before, these dolls, just so important to get them in because they were nude. Um, and as I stated before, I don't really care if they're, dressed to look warm, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to be dressed like they could go outside when it's freezing out there, but they should at least cover their nakedness, as the Bible calls it. Cover, their chest and, all the way down to their thighs. So yeah, video's a bit long, not that long. Would like to go off on other things, but, this opportunity will likely end soon. And so, yeah, like I've said before, the most important things about Christmas is not what you can buy, but, I just like the decorations. I like the cold weather, I like the decorations. And when places don't decorate for Christmas, they decide that December can be just another month, like January through November, and October certainly doesn't really matter. How can they really, in addition to their food, being too expensive these days, it's like, wow, why would you do that? Why would you go to a place where it costs, way more than what you would spend on making your own food when, you could be at home with your own decorations and you could make your own food for a lot less. So I'll go ahead and post this video.